Start out with the Dukes of York, the visiting team tonight. And as we mentioned in the open, lots of runs scored. 13-3 over Naperville Central, and then Providence, New Trier, and St. Lawrence, the victim earlier today. And the Morris Redskins have not scored quite as many runs, especially here in Geneva, but they've had great pitching. Just 2 earned runs allowed in the 4 games on their road here this evening. Let's check out the lineups again. Give them to you for tonight's 1993 state championship. The Dukes will line it up this way. Batting first in center field, Sean Bennis. The second baseman, Justin Halpenny, in the number 2 spot. The catcher is David Sloan. He'll bat 3. Jeff Dahl, the starting pitcher, in the cleanup spot. Then it's Brad Schmidt. Matt Witten is the shortstop. Rory Miro is the DH. Jim Stamper is the right fielder. And Tom Triplett is your left field, batting in the 9 spot. On the mound tonight for the Morris Redskins, the young man, Kelly Dransfeld, who we talked about in the open. And when I talked to his catcher today, he said, well, what do you want to know? I said, I want to know how he throws the ball. He says, he throws it hard, and he throws it over for strikes. And Morris defensively, Justin Knapp in left field, Chuck Laird the center fielder, Sean Babcock is the right fielder, Justin Olson is at third base. Chad Larson comes in because Dransfeld is the regular shortstop for this team. So watch the shortstop position and Larson. Ryan Terry at second, Jordan Walker at first. Mark Bracidi behind the plate. He has thrown out 17 of 21 would-be Steelers this year. And who are the men in blue? Flores, Albert, Kerr, Schaefer, Wilford, and Arena. First pitch called strike 1, and we are underway. The 1993 State Baseball Championship. Bennis, a .234 hitter. And the weather, as I mentioned the last couple of days, just perfect. 81 degrees here as we throw out the first pitch, and not really a trace of too much wind. Outside with that one, and the count evens at 1 apiece.
In this whole tournament, Mike, the wind's been blowing in towards third base from center field, and it has been somewhat of a factor. The outfielders have had to play shallow throughout the whole ball game, which they're not really used to doing, and I really feel it makes them a little bit uncomfortable out there, you know, playing that type of depth.
Bennis so far pretty effective in the tournament. Here's a guy who gets on base. He's been a key throughout the regional and the sectional. Takes a call strike there, and the count goes even 2 apiece.
And when he gets on base, he's a threat. He can run a little bit, so it'll be exciting to see how this matchup pairs up throughout the game.
The 2-2. Fastball just missed. And talking to Doug Mullaney, he said the one thing we've done well so far in the tournament is jumped on that first pitcher. That's one thing they really want to do to Dransfeld tonight.
I think they need to get to him early, yes. And there's a start.
Leadoff man's on base, Sean Bennis.
Now, in a type of ball game like this, Mike, I think, too, what we might see, even though they are a strong hitting team, you're going to play for runs. So it could be, you know, a bunting situation here. They may try to get the runs early, and that's how they may get to Kelly.
Justin Halpenny throwing up great numbers this year, an average over 400. Batting from the left side, he's a switch hitter. Going with the left side against the right-handed pitcher, obviously, and should let those at home know that that is his strong side.
Well, it is, and you know, he does have power. So, and as you saw there, that shot, my theory, you know, I probably went for the bump, but he was swinging away right on the fastball. One thing about the pitcher, Kelly, you know, being an infielder, his ball may have a tendency to be straight rather than have some run to it, because as an infielder, you know, you're throwing across the diamond and you want a true fly to the ball, and that could be a difference too.
Halpenny with 27 RBIs on the year. 6 of those coming yesterday. Tied a tournament record, or actually broke the tournament record with 6 RBIs in yesterday's baseball game. A big win over New Trier.
And that should have been, you know, probably a little better game from both, you know, from New Trier's side, but, you know, that happens in tournaments. And like I say, you know, they got off to a good start.
So no attention paid to Bennis yet. The count is 1-1. The batter, Justin Halpenny. This is inside, and the count goes 2-1. There'll be a little discussion very quickly between Mark Bracidi and Kelly Dransfeld.
I think what you're seeing here is just trying to settle him down a little bit. You know, first inning jitters. You can't let the game get out of hand right here. You got to stay calm. You got to be able to throw the ball, get it down in the strike zone, and throw strikes. And if they're going to beat you, they're going to beat you with the bat, not the walk.
Most of the weekend, we've seen the first inning rough on pitchers because there's got to be some nervousness out there. This is the state championship.
Oh, it is, and you know, neither team's been here, so they don't know what to expect. You know, all the marbles are right here in this ball game, so there's tension, a lot of it.
Count 3-1, man on first and Sean Bennis, nobody out. We're just underway here at Elstrom Stadium. The 3-1, high, and he walked it. Interesting, as you mentioned, though, that the differences in philosophy, if you will, between the Morris Redskins and the York Dukes. The Dukes never even thought about trying to steal a Sean Bennis, where I think if the leadoff man gets on base for Morris, he's flying.
Well, yes and no, too. I mean, he walked the first hitter. Has a tendency, his ball's been up. You know, you see that, you might give it a shot to say, well, let's see what he does on the second hitter. He just walked him. A lot of his pitches have been up in the strike zone. You got first and second, no outs. You got Sloan up, who's an excellent hitter. You know, he's been kind of like, as I mentioned earlier, the field general for this ball club. He's hitting .353 with 9 home runs, 39 RBIs. Hey, you know, you're going to probably give him the green light to swing away. So here's a good opportunity if I can't say his name, Kelly. If he gets the ball down in the strike zone, he's going to be swinging away.
Dransfeld misses with the first. Right outside, ball 1. Sloan, 3 singles thus far in the tournament. He was 1 for 4 this afternoon. Scored 2 runs, has 3 homers in the regionals and sectionals, and described to me by the skipper as a great clutch hitter.
You know, and he's been a team leader. I mean, that's the type of ball player he is, and he's come through for him all season, and he's right there. He's a little nervous, and you know, he was anxious and wanted to hit that fastball, and of course Dreyfus put it up in the strike zone, or up high out of the strike zone, and he tried to hold up, but he couldn't.
1-1 the count.
Base hit.
That'll drop in, and that should score our first run of the afternoon. Might score 2. They're holding up the second runner at third base. Sean Bennis comes around to score. Justin Halpenny to third, and David Sloan with another RBI.
As you can see, this pitch is a little bit up. He got out and took the ball the opposite field to right center. Good contact, good solid hit.
And still lots of problems. 6 double on the year for Sloan, his 40th RBI, because we have nobody out and now 2 men in scoring position.